Well, hello, 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 hello once again. Hello, powerful people, and thank you for coming back again. I can see my chair. I actually took my chair. My chair actually came from my son. It's a gamer's chair because you know what? The chair I had, it just wasn't hugging me enough. So I actually took his chair. I hope he's okay with that. All right. So, hello, powerful people. I'm just going to check to make sure that I am live and that you can see me. And one way that I'll know that is that you'll actually say hello in the comments. If you'll say hello, that way I know you can hear me and I am live and in living color. Live and in living color. Okay, I see. Yes, I am. Yay! Awesome, awesome, awesome. So thank you again for coming back. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Where are you? You are at Core for Coaches. Core for Coaches. It's my opportunity every single week to come and connect with you and to encourage you to partner and collaborate with other coaches, with other leaders. It's my opportunity to offer you some thoughts around leadership and leadership development. So, first of all, I should say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for all of your comments on our last few episodes, if you will. I really appreciate it. I do my best to get to every one of your comments. If I haven't, know that I will. And I appreciate the feedback. I say all the time, in our ICLI Rising Coach Training School, in our courses, I say all the time that feedback is important, and I don't relate to it as like feedback is something negative, because something negative makes you look back and ask why. Why did that happen? I actually relate to it as feed forward. Have you ever heard of that? If you've heard of feed forward, just say feed forward in the comments. I'd love to know who else has heard that terminology and if you use it. And also, what's your definition of that, right? So for me, feed forward means I have received some information from my customers. I've received some information. Sometimes it could be from my husband, from my child. I've received some information. I've taken it in. I've digested it, and I've taken a look to see what of this information or this feedback, if you will, what of these insights, sometimes maybe even opinions, what of this is actually going to serve me, and not just me, but serve my organization, serve my team, serve my customers. In other words, what are some opportunities? What are some opportunities that are available in this feedback that I've received? And so I tell you, woo, this has been a week already. I think it's only the second day of the week. It's been a week already. And I've already gotten opportunities to hear some ideas, some recommendations, some concerns, some advice from folks. So as you know it, as feedback, I've gotten an opportunity to hear some feedback in our coach training program. And I'm so grateful. The feedback has just been so delicious. It's been so, so delicious. So big shout out to our current cohort. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all of your feedback and for sharing with us just how much you're getting out of the Expert Coach Immersion Intensive ECI program. So the ECI, just so you know, is our 3-week level 1 ICF accredited coach training program. We have a cohort happening right now. They're actually on the home stretch to graduate soon. They're actually graduating this weekend. Yes. And that program, that cohort specifically, I'm pretty sure it's our most diverse cohort, So let me just tell you, and then I'll do my formal introduction and all that good stuff. But this is what I want to talk about. So I'm hoping this is supportive of you because I'm really excited about this. So this current cohort that we have, let me tell you the countries that are represented. And I'm going to mix in some of my team members too and give them a shout out and give their countries a shout out too. So in this coach training cohort, we have represented, of course, the US of A. We have Sudan, Kenya, Ghana. Oh, I hope I have this right. Nigeria, Canada, UK. We got a student from London. And if I roll in my team members, we are represented by Slovakia, Mexico, Jamaica, one of my favorite places because my family's Jamaican, Jamaica, Bermuda. Shout out to my Bermudian instructor. What am I missing? I know some of my team members are here in the comments. So team, let me know if I missed some countries. I'm sure I did. I'm sure. Oh, India. India is represented on our team. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? So I would love to know what part of the world are you in? I always like to see how much geographical diversity there is when I come to you and come to lives and do workshops and things like that. I'm always fascinated by that. Also, because I love to travel. I love to travel. I'm so grateful this year. I'd love to know, where are you traveling? This year, I have the wonderful opportunity to visit Barbados, Grenada, Ghana, Paris. How cool is that, right? And I'll come back another time and tell you about this Paris opportunity that it blew my mind. It just blew my mind. I actually get to travel to Paris with some coaching besties, that's what I'm gonna call them, coaching besties, to work on a coaching project that's gonna positively impact coaches all over the world. I'm so excited about that. Okay, so who am I and what am I doing in your news feed? I am Sophia Casey. I am a master certified coach. I slow down on purpose when I say master certified coach, because I'm so proud of the MCC credential. I'm proud of that designation. It's the highest credential level in our industry, in the coaching industry. And right now, there are only about a little over, I think, 2,200 of us in the world. And part of my commitment, part of my mission is to change that. We need more MCCs, more PCCs, more ACCs. So big shout out to my friends and colleagues there at the International Coaching Federation, ICF. We're doing the work. We're doing the work to increase the number of credentialed coaches we have on this planet. And I really have my eye on increasing the number of Black, Indigenous, people of color who are certified and credentialed coaches. Because if there's ever been a time that we need support from coaches, that time would be now. That time would be now. Okay, so I'm also so fortunate to be the CEO. I say that stands for Chief Empowerment Officer of ICLI Rising, which is our ICF Accredited Coach Training School. I'm also an executive life coach, and I have the wonderful opportunity to support a lot of leaders in the public sector. Yes, federal government, the public sector, and also in the private sector as a business consultant and also as a corporate trainer. I'm telling you, that's one of my zones of genius. I love doing training. So wanted to stop in just for a moment and share with you. You know, I come in, I'm here only for a few minutes, but you know what? It's powerful and delicious minutes. So we're going to use the minutes as best we can. So what I want to do is offer you, I'm always offering you what I hear from you, that you want. I hear from you where you want more support. And so who is the you? The you I'm talking to are coaches and leaders. And, you know, sometimes I like to say coach leaders and leader coaches. Right? So that's the you. So I promise to come back every single week. I'm here every single week and to offer you just some things to chew on, some things to consider, maybe some coaching tips, tools, templates, trainings, all the T's, all right, to support you around you continuing to have a successful coaching business. Yes. And bringing more coaching into our organizations. Woo! That's another conversation for another time. All right, let me quickly check in on the chat, and then I'm going to offer you some things to think about in terms of making clear requests. That's a big part of our work as coaches, being able to hear clear requests and make clear requests. So let me check in on the chat first and see who is here with me. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Christine. It's great to see you. Give me a moment. I'm just click over so I can see your names. It's so great to see you. Thank you for being here. Thanks for saying hi too. Thanks for the shout out. Thank you, Blessing and Malik, for always being here to co-pilot and support me so that I can support these coaches. Okay, if I haven't said hello yet, it's just because I can't see your name. Okay, blame it on my eyes and not my heart. So here's some things I want you to consider. And the reason I wanted to talk about this topic is certainly because you all have asked me to. So I'm a good listener. Certainly because you all have asked me to. I get asked a lot of questions around, especially of course from coaches and in our coach training program, and from the hundreds of coaches that I have the wonderful honor to have mentored or trained, around how do you get a clear, measurable coaching request. So I hear this all the time. So for my ICF credential coaches, you know I'm talking about core competency number 3. Core competency number 3. If you will, put the number 3 in the chat. I love the number 3. It's my favorite number. Okay, so put the number 3 in the chat. So it is directly connected to core competency number 2. And I have it that learning these skills and listening for clear requests and making clear requests, it supports all of us. It supports all of us leaders. And when I say leaders, I'm not just talking about a supervisor or a manager or a CEO. I am talking about you. Even if you're not a supervisor, a manager, a CEO, head of an organization, because I relate to everybody as a leader of your life, as a leader of your life. Can you imagine if all of us came from that energy, that I am a leader of my life, I am responsible for my life? What a difference that could make. And I'm gonna check in with you all later because I want to hear your feedback as well. So, okay. So getting and making clear requests. First, I want to offer you that you want to explain exactly what it is that you want to receive, right? You want to explain what you want to receive. You want to be clear. In our coach training program, we call that enrollment. When I actually make a request to you and you are so crystal clear about what's in it for you that you actually give me what I want. In our work as coaches, one of the most important things that we do is that we support clients with moving forward. We support clients with getting clear about what it is that they want for their lives. And so one way to do that is to ask them straight up, clearly, what is your coaching request for today? Or said another way, what would make this coaching session successful for you? Or said another way, one of my coaching besties says it like this. I think it's so cool. What's top of mind for you? What's top of mind for you? Okay. So shout out to Melanie. I just love that. So we want to make sure that we are being clear in asking for a clear coaching request. Okay. And I want you to think about this. What I'm specifically kind of pointed at coaches, but what I'm sharing with you, these tips, these tools can be supportive of you no matter what profession you're in, no matter what industry you're in, even at home. Okay, even at home. So, have you all ever experienced like saying something to somebody and then when you get the response back, you're like, like Scooby-Doo. Like, how did they get that? That's not what I said. Okay, I will definitely out myself. Yes, it has happened often, way more than I want to acknowledge, but it has happened a lot. And what I believe is that when you see that there is a gap between what you said, the request that you made, and what you wanted, and what you got back in return, there's a gap. And you have the opportunity, and I'm going to go even a little stronger, you have the ownership, the obligation to be clear. I love Brene Brown's quote when she says, clear is kind, or clear is kindness. When we are being clear about what we want, when we are being clear about our request, we're being kind to the other person. We're being kind to the recipient, because then the other person, the recipient of our request, doesn't have to struggle and try and figure it out, like throwing darts at a dartboard. What does she actually mean by that? What does she actually want? Now I'm really talking to you managers. Okay. So if I make a request, but what I get back doesn't match what I wanted, most likely that means that there is a gap. In our coaching work, we call it a breakdown, but not in the mental health way. There's a gap in my delivery of the request. So I want to encourage you all to, first of all, give me just a moment. Oh my gosh, I have so much for you all. I'm getting all over the place. Okay. So first of all, I want to encourage you to actually ask clarifying questions to ensure that you understand, right? If somebody's making a request to you, you want to ask questions. I know my team members, they hear me say this all the time. Ask questions, ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to know. And I feel like a lot of times people won't ask questions, like when they're confused by something and are not quite clear. Sometimes they don't ask questions because they feel like that says something about who they are, that they couldn't understand it, or they didn't get it right, or they didn't get it the way that you intended. So I want to encourage you, put those saboteurs over there and ask questions. It's important that we ask clarifying questions. One of my team members, I just love, Charlotte, shout out to Charlotte. If I make a request of her, she has really gotten in the habit of saying, okay, Sophia, she'll repeat back what I'm asking for. So she's checking for clarity, right? To make sure we're on the same page. But then she'll go even further and she'll go, by when? By when? She's been in too many coach training classes. She will ask me, well, by when do you want that, Sophia? So that her expectations are clear. My expectations for her are clear. I should say it that way. My expectations for her are clear. And it really does support me, because a lot of times, like a lot of you entrepreneurs, I'm going 150 miles per hour. And sometimes I'm like, okay, I need this, and I need this. And I'm off to the races. And I'm grateful that she actually stops me, has me slow down, have me get present. There's a tip for you. Get present, so that I can really make sure that the request that I am giving is clear, and by when I want it is clear. So in our coaching work, we are asking our clients, what would you like to work on today in this coaching session, right? What do you want to be sold by the time we wrap up? Okay, clear. We're clearly asking for a coaching request or a coaching topic or coaching goal for this session. What I see often, because like I said, I'm a mentor coach, I listen to, and I'm an assessor, I listen to a lot of recorded calls. And sometimes what I hear is clients, so the coach will ask, what's your coaching request for today? What do you want to get out of this session? And the client will share, they will answer that question, and they'll say something like, I want to be married. I want to be married. I want to be married by November 15th of this year, right? And oftentimes what I've seen is that the coach then is off to the races, just like I said I was. They are off to the races as if that is the measurable coaching request. And what I offer you, in fact, is a little stronger than I offer it to you. I challenge you, coach. I challenge you, manager. I challenge you, leader, to stay right there in the conversation until you have a clear and measurable request. Okay. So let's take that same example. I want to be married by November 15th of this year. That is really more of an overarching goal, right? So they can stay with that. That's their overarching goal. But in order for that to be a measurable coaching request, they literally would have to get married right then in that coaching session. Have to go meet somebody, right? Court somebody and then actually get married right then. Because the request is, what do you want to create now, right now in this coaching session? So I'm curious, let me check in. So if you're a coach, I would love to hear from you. How could we make that request more of a measurable, or how could our client make that more of a measurable coaching request? How could we as coach support them in being clear about what they want to create in the session? Well, we can ask more questions. So, okay, you want to be married by November 15th. Okay, got it. What do you see to take on next in this session to actually have that be true in November? Right? So now we're reining it in. We're reining it in. We're taking it from here, big, I don't like to say big, I don't like to qualify it. We're taking it from here, so we'll say wide, a wide coaching goal or an overarching coaching goal. And what we're aiming to do is support the client with getting it tight, making it really, really, really crystal clear. So an example of a clear coaching request, still connected to their goal, because we're not trying to change their goal, okay? Don't be leading the session. It is their session. We're not trying to change their goal. In that example, a clear, measurable coaching request could be, or could look like, by the end of our conversation today, Coach Sophia, I want to, you know what? I think I want to identify the ways that I could meet this new person, okay? This boo bae honeysuckle that's coming into my life. I want to identify, I want to have clearly identified how I can get to that. Like what means I could actually, or things I could put in place to get there. Okay, great. So by the end of the session, you want to be clear on your next steps for actually meeting this new boo bae honeysuckle. I just love saying that. Okay. So is that a measurable coaching request? I want you to put a yes, no, I don't know in the comments. Is that a clear, measurable coaching request? Have they made a clear, measurable coaching request? It is pretty clear, right? So by the end of the session, if they have identified ways that they can meet people who will potentially be their what? Boo bae honeysuckle. If they've identified ways that they can do that, then yes, that is a clear, measurable coaching request. All right. So I hope this supports you. I know I have to run soon, but I'm going to drop a couple more gems in for you in just a moment. I'm asking my team to also drop these into the comments too, so you have them if you're listening on the replay. Give me just a moment. I want to encourage you, like sometimes what happens is when we're trying to make clear requests or we're communicating to someone what we want, sometimes it goes like this. This was the case for me yesterday. I made this request. I wanted to land with the person, like we're both on the same page, but sometimes it looks like this. And I want to encourage you not to necessarily relate to that as a failure in communication, okay? Not necessarily a failure. I want you to consider it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for you to practice giving and receiving clear request. Clear request. Last piece, one thing that tends to get in the way is that sometimes we assume the person knows what we mean. So I want to encourage you not to assume. You know what assume stands for, right? Okay, don't put that in the chat. I want you not to assume, but I want you to ask questions, right? To make sure that you're clear about the request. I want you to practice being clear with your request. So here's my homework for you. I want you to go make 3 requests. How many? 3 requests of another person. Okay, another person or persons. I want you to go make 3 requests. And then I want you to ask yourself, was that a clear, measurable request? Okay. All right, that's as much homework as I'm going to give you today because I could go on and on and on about this. I would love to see you. You can join us at our Expert Coach Immersion Intensive program, our Expert Coach Immersion Extended program, which is our level 2 program. You can come as a guest client. Isn't that cool? Yes, we know. You're welcome. We invite you in to be a guest client and receive some powerful coaching pro bono at no cost to you. We would love to have you. Just check in with us on our website. It's iclirising.com. And until next time, go take great care of each other. These are some interesting times. Take great care of each other. And most importantly, take great care of yourself. Oh, you're wonderful. Thank you, Maisha. You are very welcome. Take great care of yourself. Ciao for now. See you next week.